Welcome to Pride Palooza, as brought to you by Mira Costa's Gender Sexuality Alliance. Let's start out with a disclaimer. As we get started, we'd like to remind you of a few things. The primary purpose of this assembly is education and celebration. As we share information about our community, please remember that no one is ever done learning about other communities. So we encourage not just students, but also teachers and other staff to pay attention and try to learn something new. Now let's talk about some commonly misunderstood concepts here at Costa. Personal pronouns are words used to replace the name of a person in a sentence. Everyone has pronouns that they use to refer to themselves by. It's important to emphasize that regardless of people's gender identity, it doesn't give others the right to disregard how that person identifies, and that respect needs to be shown no matter who it is. And that gender expression does not equal gender identity. Just because someone looks a certain way does not mean you know their gender. A microaggression is a comment or action that subtly and often unconsciously or unintentionally expresses a prejudiced attitude towards a member of a marginalized group. It is important to remember that just because the language you use isn't direct or isn't a slur does not mean it cannot be hurtful or hateful. Don't allow these to go unnoticed. If you hear one, tell the person that it's not okay. As a historically misunderstood and underrepresented community, queer people are especially vulnerable to demonization in popular media. Queer characters, even underage ones, are often portrayed as overtly sexual, creating stigmas and stereotypes around queer people in real life. Certain rights are given to students under the California Education Code, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of gender, gender expression, and/or sexual origin. You also have the right to request that your preferred name be used in informal documents, such as your school ID, class attendance roster, or yearbook. You can also change your name and pronouns on Aries with your parents' permission. For any more questions regarding changing your name in any school database, please speak with your counselor. Now that you know your rights, let's move on. Mira Costa uses an algorithm to block inappropriate websites when accessed on school Wi-Fi. This algorithm occasionally marks websites such as PFLAG and the Trevor Project, which are valuable resources for queer youth and offer mental health support. Luckily, this problem is easily reversible. Simply contact Mira Costa admin about unblocking the website in question. Easy as that! In 2024, the ACLU has recorded 515 anti-LGBTQ laws in approximately 40 out of the 50 states. One of the most famous being Florida's House Law 1557, or the Don't Say Gay Law, which bans any discussion of gender identity or sexual orientation in classrooms, and prohibits the use of preferred pronouns or names that do not align with one's legal name and biological sex in the classroom. Montana has also passed a law, SB 518, which lets schools forcibly out and misgender trans and non-binary students. Both laws endanger queer students' safety. Here in California, we take pride in our state's accepting legislation, one of which being Senate Bill 407, which mandates that resource families demonstrate their ability and willingness to meet the diverse needs of foster children, including those who identify as LGBTQIA+. This protects queer youth from homophobia and helps provide them with a loving support system. Now let's hear from queer students on campus. What does it mean to be queer?
To me, being queer means just allowing myself for who I am and who I love. Because, growing up I wasn't exactly proud of who I was, but, using the word queer for me just means, I am who I am, and I'm proud of it.
What can Costa do for its queer students?
To do more for people who are queer, it be also like a culture shift, because like today I was just sitting on some bench because I was doing something, and then I just heard some people walk by say the F slur. I wanted to say something, but they walked by so fast I couldn't even see them. I was like, because I was kind of ignorant because I don't really listen to other people talking, and I thought that we didn't have as much problems as we did, but just because I'm not listening as much, and like, I think that principle of listening more should be like what Costa's doing, like listen more to what's going on and be more understanding, not be like, oh, we're fine. Just like listen in, keep an ear open.
I just wish that in general people at the school, in the school itself, would just take our concerns more seriously, because a lot of students just think like it's okay to just say stuff about us, like whatever, who cares, but also the administration oftentimes just doesn't really view our concerns as being very important.
What's your favorite thing about the queer community?
Gay people, because we so often have to like repress ourselves in order to like stay in the closet, as you know. What happens is when we do come out, this is a stereotype, but like we're so open to all forms of expression, not just sexuality. Like, it's an amount of openness that can only come through the shared experience of having to hide oneself.
If you want to reach out to LGBTQIA+ organizations for support or for more information, feel free to scan the QR codes on screen for PFLAG and the Trevor Project. You can also follow us at Mira Costa GSA for more information. Come celebrate in the Mustang Mall today during office hours for Pride Palooza. Join us for games and trivia with candy prizes. We'll also be playing music from our favorite queer artists. We'll also have face painting and cookies, so make sure you bring cash. So stop on by, we'll have a gay old time.